Welcome back, everyone. This is Trending Update USA, and I am Stefan, bringing you a major developing story from the world of tennis that is setting social media on fire and dividing fans across the globe. Coco Gauff's news step has sparked a major debate among fans, analysts, former players, and even casual viewers, and tonight we are breaking down exactly why this decision has become one of the most talked about moves of her career so far. At just 20 years old, Coco Gauff is no stranger to pressure, expectations, or controversy. From the moment she burst onto the scene as a teenage phenom, beating Venus Williams at Wimbledon, her career has unfolded under an intense spotlight. Every serve, every forehand, every coaching move, and every off-court decision has been dissected in real time. But this latest step feels different. It feels bigger, bolder, and more personal. And that is precisely why fans cannot agree on whether this is a brilliant evolution or a risky gamble. The debate began the moment reports confirmed that Gauff is making a significant adjustment to her professional setup and on-court approach, a move that signals she is no longer content simply being one of the best young players in the world. She wants control. She wants longevity. And she wants to define her career on her own terms rather than let expectations dictate her path. For some fans, this screams maturity and vision. For others, it raises red flags about timing, pressure, and whether change is really necessary when you are already at the top. Supporters of Coco Gauff point out that change is often the difference between a good career and a legendary one. Tennis history is full of examples of players who plateaued because they refused to adapt, just as it is filled with champions who reinvented themselves at crucial moments. Gauff has already achieved what many players spend a lifetime chasing. She has a Grand Slam title, she has been ranked world number 1, and she is a consistent presence in the later rounds of the biggest tournaments. From this perspective, taking a new step now is not reckless, it is strategic. These fans argue that Coco understands her own game better than anyone else. She knows where the gaps are. She knows which moments on court still cause hesitation. And she knows that staying still in a sport that keeps evolving is a form of moving backward. They see this decision as a sign of confidence rather than doubt, proof that Gauff is thinking long-term, not just about next week or next month, but about the next decade of elite tennis. On the other side of the debate are fans who are deeply uneasy. Their concern is rooted in one key question: why change something that is clearly working? Coco Gauff is already winning big matches, already beating top players, already one of the most marketable and mentally tough athletes on tour. For these fans, this new step feels like unnecessary disruption. They worry about momentum being lost, rhythm being broken, or confidence taking a hit if early results do not immediately match expectations. There is also fear that the pressure surrounding Gauff is already enormous, and adding another layer of scrutiny could be dangerous. Every loss will now be framed as evidence that this decision backfired. Every struggle will be magnified. In the hyperreactive environment of modern sports media, patience is rare, and young players often pay the price for long-term changes that need time to take effect. What truly intensifies the debate is how symbolic this step feels. This is not just about technique or tactics. For many observers, this move represents Coco Gauff stepping fully into ownership of her career. It signals that she is no longer just the prodigy fans protect, but a grown competitor willing to take responsibility for success and failure alike. That transition can be uncomfortable for audiences who have grown attached to a certain narrative version of her. Former players have also weighed in, and their reactions mirror the split among fans. Some praise her courage, noting that the hardest decisions in an athlete's career are often the ones that do not come from crisis, but from ambition. Others warn that stability is underrated, especially for players who are still so young and already managing the physical and mental toll of a full tour schedule. Social media has amplified every angle of this discussion. Clips of Gauff are being reanalyzed, past interviews are resurfacing, and fans are projecting long-term career arcs based on a single decision. Some posts frame her as a visionary rewriting the playbook for young champions. Others accuse her camp of overthinking success and inviting unnecessary complications. Lost in much of the noise is an important truth: elite athletes do not experience success the way fans do. What looks like dominance from the outside can feel fragile from the inside. Margins at the top are razor thin. One missed return, one pattern an opponent figures out, one physical weakness exposed, and championships disappear. Coco Gauff is not responding to numbers on a ranking list. She is responding to her lived experience on court against the very best in the world. Psychologically, this move also signals growth. It suggests she is willing to be uncomfortable in pursuit of being better. Comfort is seductive, especially when success keeps coming, but it can also be limiting. By choosing to take a new step now, Gauff is effectively betting on herself, betting that temporary turbulence will produce long-term clarity and strength. Still, the risks are real, and that is why the debate refuses to settle. Tennis history includes cautionary tales of promising shifts that never fully clicked. Fans remember players who changed too much, too fast, and lost the very instincts that made them great. With Coco Gauff, the stakes feel even higher because she is not chasing relevance. She already has it. She is chasing evolution. Another layer to this story is generational. Younger fans tend to applaud experimentation and self-direction, seeing it as empowerment. Older fans often value consistency and trust in proven systems. That cultural divide plays out vividly in reactions to Gauff's decision. What one group calls brave, another calls impatient. Sponsors, tournaments, and broadcasters are also watching closely. Coco Gauff is not just an athlete, she is a global brand. Any major shift in her career resonates beyond the baseline. That visibility adds pressure, but it also adds weight to her choices. She knows that whatever happens next will influence how future players view agency and control in their own careers. Despite all the debate, one thing is undeniable: Coco Gauff has reignited conversation about growth, risk, and ambition in women's tennis. She has reminded everyone that success does not freeze a player in place. It challenges them to decide what kind of champion they want to be. Whether this new step leads to immediate rewards or short-term setbacks, it already shows that Gauff is thinking like someone determined to shape her legacy rather than drift into it. As the upcoming tournaments unfold, every match will carry extra meaning. Wins will be celebrated as validation. Losses will fuel critics. But beneath the surface reactions, this moment represents something deeper. A young champion asserting her right to change, even when the world is watching, even when opinions are loud, even when the outcome is uncertain. In the end, the major debate surrounding Coco Gauff's new step may say more about fans than about her. It exposes our discomfort with change, our impatience for results, and our tendency to confuse stability with safety. For Coco, the choice has already been made. The only thing left is the journey, and in tennis, as in life, bold journeys are rarely unanimous. This is Trending Update USA, and I am Stefan. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter of Coco Gauff's career may be the most defining one yet.